Sometimes we hold on to old patterns because we believe it's what we should be doing, opposed to letting them go in faith and accepting a new way of being towards situations in our life. The only way that our relationship to other people will change genuinely has to start with how we show up in that relationship. It changes by how we show up as who we are in that connection. And I've seen this happen a lot in my life, specifically in relationship to my parents. There was a lot of hostility in that relationship, and I was always meeting them back with this hostility and this feeling of I didn't feel like I was seen for who I was or the value that I had to offer. It just felt like I had to live a certain way in order to get their acceptance, and if I didn't get their acceptance, then what am I? I'm not doing anything in life right. So the only way that you're going to change a dynamic in a relationship like this is if you do the work within yourself first. You have to rewire the way that you think about the situation. And what that requires from you as an individual is having a lot of grace towards yourself when you feel charged, when you feel like emotional about it, because usually it's like years of that type of thing that keeps showing up. But you have to learn to react to it differently. And so that's usually what it's asking from you, that situation in your life that keeps on happening over and over again, that same type of scenario. It's asking you if you would choose to show up differently, even though the rest of the circumstances are still the same. What will you do then? And then that's when the magic happens. That's when you put the trust in God to be like, hey, listen, God, no, I don't know. I can't change the situation. Only you can, but you could change my heart. You could change how I choose to show up to this. Because a lot of the times I was a person that was perpetuating that state. And I wasn't taking accountability to the fact that I was perpetuating this negative pattern and cycle with the people that I loved most. So it's up to you to really do that internal work and shift. You have to shift. You have to learn to surrender and give it to God and be like, hey, listen, this hurts. I don't want to carry this anymore. You don't have to carry the weight of everything. It's not up to you also to change someone else's behavior. That's on them. But you could choose to have no attachment to their behavior and still show up in the energy that you want to show up, regardless of how they want to be. That's what this new phase of life requires for you. If you want to access a new way of life for yourself, you have to learn to be detached to the outcome. You have to learn to be detached to if someone follows or not, if people accept you or not, if you get accepted by the people you love closest or not. It's not up to them, it's up to you to know that you're accepted. And to be unbreakable and show up as who you want to be regardless if they understand or not. And then just trust that the right people will come beside you. But it takes you being that right person anyways. And it takes a lot of grace, and it takes patience, and it takes forgiveness. But you can make it happen if you surrender. So surrender. And acknowledge how you've perpetuated things. Because if you don't acknowledge that you've also been perpetuating the state of things, then pride is keeping you in the way of receiving